June the 12th, 2016. Guys, in yesterday's video, part one of this about the beast and the mark of the beast, we started here at Revelation 13:1. Now, the picture to the left is different, as we were talking about the different things, and this is important, but let me just say, I want to start back at 13:1 for a couple of reasons. And it says, I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, and upon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now the 7 heads we talked about were the empires that rule this earth over time. Now we're going into a new empire that will be wiped out, but it is coming into fruition, and we will see it promoting the beast system, and this new order will be a one world order. For the first time, it will be more or less worldwide because of the communication, the expansion, things like that. And in this picture to the left, more than likely you're looking at a group that will represent most of the 10 kings that give their power to the beast in that last hour, which is 3.5 years, which I believe we are in. We are seeing the beginnings of the changes, but there's something about this picture on the left, and we've talked about it before, and it's the Economist magazine, the 2016 issue that comes out in January, and it predicts some of the things and events that will go on this planet. And we see Merkel in the front, we see Hillary beside her, Obama, 2 down from the Chinese president, Japanese president, India's president, Vladimir Putin. You see Cameron over in Britain, and you see with Merkel in the lead, and beside her, Janet Yellen of the Federal Reserve. We also see Hollande just behind Obama, next to the lady that runs the IMF there. So we've got an entire group of people here, and I'm going to point out a couple things about this. In the back, on the top, we have 3 religious leaders. And again, this was January 2016 published, but the artwork started coming out at the end of 2015, and it changed and went through a couple of different things here. But you've got the Pope there, and you've got the leader of the Russian Orthodox Church standing beside him in a cartoon. And this happened, guys, just a month after the publication came out, and many months after the drawing. I think around February 12th of this year, the Pope and the cardinal there of the Orthodox Church met for the first time in a long time. We'll look at that. Now, one of the things that, and I saw a lot of questions about it, was I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw the beast rise up out of the sea. Both beasts do that, but let's look at what the sea is just to clarify it. You're looking at an image of it on the left. Now go to Revelation 17, guys. This is the descriptive chapter of chapter 13. The angel comes and tells John, he says, don't wonder about this. I'm going to explain it to you. In 17:6, it says, I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Now, this woman is the whore of Babylon, the great church that has ruled over these different heads, these different empires from the beginning of time. They've always had Satan behind them, regardless of what the religion was called. It was all of them had the name of blasphemy on their head. Remember that? And the angel said unto me, wherefore dost thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. So the Word of God is going to clear this thing up for us. Guys, you can read the entire chapter of Revelation 17. I highly recommend it, but for time's sake, I want to point out something. It says, here's the mind that hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Those 7 mountains are the 7 empires. And the woman in this Babylonian system of religion led by Satan has been there the entire time. She has sat on those 7 mountains. These are not real mountains. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, one is, and the other is not yet come. We're talking about Satan again. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Why? Remember, Satan knows he has but a short time. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. Satan again, clarifying these. And the 10 horns which thou sawest, this is important, it's in the picture, are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. That's the first 3.5 years of tribulation. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Now pay attention, many people read over the next 5 verses. It's important. Why do these 10 kings give their power over and strength to the beast in this 3.5 year period? Because he has set up the entire planet with the puppets that he needs in place in the political offices to do his bidding. They've sold their souls. You can see it. They have one mind, and they'll give their power and strength into the beast. Now, why would he need their power and strength? Because he's a man. And when you have all the nations, all the kings, all the military that they control, all the media they control, that is power and strength as far as trying to deceive the people on this planet. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called, the chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters, now listen, which thou sawest where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues, the entire world, the one world order. That sea is not an ocean. They're not coming up on the beach with a 7-headed beast, guys. That's not what they're talking about at all. But the waters. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Wait, do what? Guys, there's a lot of comments yesterday about what I was talking about the newly beast that's rising very fast, the quickest growing religion on this planet. Many said that I was wrong, that's the Roman Catholic Church. Guys, that was one of the beasts and is part of this system and is controlling the 10 kings, but things are about to change. Why? When they give their power to the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. You see that? What has happened is this new religion, it's not a new religion, but we were talking about the end of the Arab nation yesterday, the rise of Islam, and back today and being spread across the world, and the 10 kings embracing the Islamic State. Well, when we see, and I'll show you this in the picture, when we see the Orthodox Church and we see the Catholic Church come together trying to run everything and actually being the leader of the nations, of the 7 heads of this dragon beast throughout time, guys, that's about over. Why? Because Satan hates them. He wants all religions wiped out except his. You understand that? And even the Islamic religion will be wiped out too, because there can only be one as far as Satan is concerned, and it's the Luciferian doctrine. Let me read that again. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. Remember the 10 kings that haven't only given power in the last hour. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now, for God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And it's been Babylon, it's been Rome, that great city. Now it's considered Rome because of the Pope, which is correct. But that is about to be destroyed. Why? The 10 horns are going to eat her flesh and burn her with fire, make her desolate and naked. Remember the Albert Pike letter, guys? All the religions, all the people will fight until complete exhaustion. Why? So that they can bring in the Luciferian doctrine. Now, just let's go back to the first of this a moment. You've got the Pope, the Orthodox priest here, religious people from around the world. You also have in the back here, and I'll show you a close-up, and it's been there the whole time. There's been some changes, but that's the Syrian president, Assad, and he has a bullet hole between his eyes. I don't know what that means, but it caught my eye a long time ago. He's in the back, but on the top right, over everyone, as if the puppet masters, that's the whore. That's the whore of Babylon that's been drunk with the blood of the saints. The beast are going to take the 10 kings and wipe that out. Everything will end up being wiped out except the Luciferian doctrine, and that will only last a short period because Christ comes back and takes care of that. Again, a month later, these two met. February 12th, I believe it was, this year. And it's been a long time since they did. Let me read you a little bit about this and show you the article. Again, February the 12th. You see the picture. It says, despite famine, religious wars, worldwide conflict, and the spread of civilization, the heads of the Roman Catholic and the Russian Orthodox churches haven't spoken since the Great Chasm of 1054 shattered Christendom. So they had a lot of catching up to do when they sat down for their historic meeting Friday afternoon in Cuba. 1054. Do you know why they're doing this, guys? They see the threat, and they think they can control it. This whore of Babylon. Pope Francis and Patrick Carril embraced and kissed one another 3 times on the cheek as they met in the wood panel VIP room at Havana's Jose Mata International Airport. Now, that's what that picture's about. This is about them uniting, guys. 1054. These two religions have not taught. The heads of these two religions have not met and come to any conclusions. They split up at that time. They're coming back together. You're seeing the whore of Babylon, and you're going to see the 10 kings use another system that's rising to wipe them out. Then the system that's rising, the Islamic system, will be strictly a puppet because we've been told by the Illuminati through the Albert Pike letter that they would bring about both the destruction of the Muslims and the Christians. So you Muslims beware of who is going to be leading you, but that's what the Bible says. Now going back, if you remember, we ended with Revelation 13:10 yesterday, and we talked about a couple of things there. It says born again, and that's not correct. It means born from above. Remember that, but again, that's a subject for an entirely different video. But continuing in 13:11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. The 2 horns, did we just see them? And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. We saw that wound. We see it healed now. And again, the beast is going to use the Islamic religion and that power to destroy the Christian and Catholic religion. That's what he thinks. And how's he going to do it? He says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire, which in the Greek is lightning, come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. What's he talking about? Deceiving the planet. How? With miracles. And what is he saying? Saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make an image to the beast. Who makes the image? Not Satan. We do. It comes out of the sea. Which had the wound by a sword and did live. We know who that is. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that it that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Guys, how many Christians are being killed overseas as we speak? Nation upon nation, reports are hidden every day. They're being persecuted here. Now we don't have prayer in school. You can have any other kind of prayer. And for the people that think that I'm offending them, you have to listen to what I'm saying. It's not meant for everybody. It's the ones that have this extreme ideology that you have to eliminate everything else on the planet. Well, guys, I don't care what Allah said. That's not how you're going to make it. You're being put up and set up and planned for destruction after you're used as a puppet. Think about it. And he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Guys, this mark is also the same as the seal of God in your forehead. What is that seal of God? It's the knowledge of that you know that Christ came here as our salvation. That's the seal of God. You understand what I'm saying? The same as this mark. It is a seal in the right hand or the forehead, but in your forehead, talked about it yesterday, it's not on the forehead, it's in the forehead. Notice this. Now, when it does that, that's saying it's in your brain, it's in your mind, it's what you think, it's what you believe. In your right hand is symbolic of power. It comes from the Hebrew to the Greek as in Hebraism, meaning the power in your right hand. Who sits on the right hand of God? But your power is your work, your time, your efforts to promote this false religion. Because you believe it. It cannot be forced upon you or it will not work. You have to do it. And it says that the whole world will wonder after the beast and worship the beast in Revelation, except those that have their name in the book of life of the Lamb from the foundation of the earth. And I talked about the Kenites yesterday, and some people say they don't exist. They were wiped out in the flood as being sons of Cain. Guys, you've got to read about when the tribes came out of captivity in Babylon. And when they went in, the Levitical priests were the priests. And the Kenites had come in, the sons of Cain, before captivity, and they worked around the church, sweeping, things like that. But after the tribes went into Babylon and all the changes that went through, led by the Babylonian beast, at that time, one of the heads, when the Hebrews came back out of captivity, when Israel came back, they noted that no longer were the Levites, or the priesthood anymore, the Levitical priesthood appointed by Moses, but the Kenites were now the priest, the sons of Cain. This is long after the flood, guys. And why did Satan's Babylonian head at that time, that beast system, let this occur? Because when the priests cried, crucify him, before Pilate, Satan thought he had it won, but he didn't. But that was the reason. The Bible is the story of Adam through Christ, tracing the Adamic bloodline and the battle of Satan trying to destroy that bloodline from beginning to end so Christ could not be born and crush his head with a heel. It started with, you must understand Genesis, but it started with Cain killing Abel to prevent that bloodline. They're not the same bloodline. I'm sorry if you don't understand that. I'll try to do another video on the Kenites. But guys, everyone you see is not your friend, no matter if they smile and walk hand in hand with you. Everyone you see is not a Christian, regardless of what they say. There are Kenites or sons of Cain on this planet. Now let's talk about this mark and the seal one more time. I want to show you something from the Greek dictionary. Now I've got a couple things pulled up here, and you notice it has numbers in the center column, and the G stands for Greek. If you're in the Strong's Concordance, if it has H, it's for the Hebrew, the Old Testament, but we're in Greek. And the word for mark is G5480. It's called charagma, and it's a scratching or etching, a stamp, or as a badge of servitude. And there will be a lot of people serving it. Sculptured figure or graven mark. That's what it's talking about. Now, this badge of servitude or this stamp, where is it at? It's in your mind. It's not a chip. It's not a tattoo. It's nothing that can be forced upon you. God's not going to punish you if somebody makes you do something. You're only going to get your name taken out of the book if you voluntarily, from not studying, worship the beast system. But let's look at let's go to the bottom of this for a minute. And this word is seal, G4973. It's a signet of fencing in or protecting from misappropriation. By implication, the stamp impressed as a mark of privacy or genuineness, literally or figuratively a seal. That's what the word seal is. See the red arrow? It's a mark. It is in your mind. That seal of God is not a tattoo or a chip on you guys. It says it's a mark here. It is, you firmly believe in your mind, and you know who your Savior is. You know what Yeshua, you know who Yahweh is, and your name is written in that book of life. Now let's go back up to the second column, G5495, and that is the word kair for hand. It says it's, or in your right hand. Notice this where it says literally or figuratively power. That is the symbolic of the power in your right hand. It is a Hebraism, a means or instrument. It is power, the right hand. Do you work? Do you support this beast system? Again, you will have to do it willingly. But when you talk about you can't buy or sell or trade, we know that the end time, the very end of the end times, possibly the last 3.5 years, have been shortened to 5 months. If not, even the elect could have been destroyed. Remember what Christ said about that? So you got 5 months there. You got 150 days or 5 months in the Old Testament, where Noah had to be prepared for being inside the ark for that period of time, food and water. So if you're destroyed through lack of knowledge and you've got a book full of knowledge in front of you, then why do you let that happen? Be prepared. I know that Christ will take care of us, but just be prepared. You have friends and family, and it can't ever hurt. Now I want to point out something about this mark, the seal of God. It says it's probably strengthened from G5420. See that? G5420 in the Greek means apparently a strengthened form of the base, a fence or enclosed that is specifically to block up. That seal of God blocks up all the holes in your hedges, guys. That's what it is. It's the knowledge. It is not a chip. It is not a tattoo. It cannot be forced. You will have to be voluntarily ignorant enough of the word of the Lord to worship the beast system. We're not going to let that happen, guys. We're watching it. It's a heads up. Be safe.